Good Devach, everybody. So I'll tell you a Maisa. Everyone heard of the Chayz of Lublin, the great seer of Lublin. So the Maisa goes, there was a particular Rav, not a Chassid, but a Talmud Chacham, that came to visit the Chayz. And the Maisa is that he went to go daven by the Chayz. It was during the week. And he notices, as he's davening in the Beis Medrash, that the Chayz, during Shemon Esrei, was filling up his pipe with tobacco and lighting his pipe and smoking during Shemon Esrei. So the Rav sees this Chashav Rav, whatever, sees the Chayz of Lublin that during Shemon Esrei he's dealing with his pipe and smoking during Shemon Esrei. He was very upset by that, very, very, very bothered. And so after davening, he went over to the Chayz and he said, listen, Tari v'limud how could it be such a thing that you, the Rebbe, that during Shemon Esrei you should deal with a pipe and smoke during Shemon Esrei, such a thing? So the truth is, I'll just on the side, in parentheses, by the Tzadikim, by big Tzadikim like the Chayz, the inyan of smoking a pipe was considered to be a chashuv inyan. A lot of tikkunim, a lot of Yeshuas came from the smoking of these Tzadikim. The Rishna has many stories about that. The Tzadikim called it a bechina, an aspect of ketairos. So the real answer probably was that the avodah that the Chayz of Lublin was performing by smoking his pipe was not a contradiction to Shemon Esrei. It was somehow whatever inyanim he was trying to be poil with Shemon Esrei, the pipe was enhancing that and strengthening that and pushing things through. That's probably what the real answer was. But the Chayz, I guess, understood that the person he's speaking to was not going to receive that answer. So he said the following thing. He said, so I'll tell you why I was smoking during Shemon Esrei. So I'll tell you a Maisa. He said like this. He said there was once a king. It's a marshal. He said there's once a king. And the king was going on a daily walk with some of his advisors and so on through the streets of the city. So he's passing by the streets and he happens to hear, and then he looks and he notices that at the end of the street there is a person, like a little beggar, standing by the street corner, playing a guitar. He has his guitar case open, people throw in some quarters and so on. So he's playing the guitar. And as everyone's passing by, the king hears the music being played by this guy, and is completely taken by it. Now all the advisors are watching this scene and are like very surprised. The king had very chashuv orchestras and very chashuv players and musicians that would play from the palace, and this guy was decent, but nothing. He wasn't a professional, nothing to write home about. And so, but the king was mamish infatuated. Mamish stood there, song after song after song, so excited. And the ministers and advisors are watching this. It's cute, but it was very, very strange. Ad kedei kach, that the Chayz said the king afterwards told his advisors, he says, I want this guy, I want whoever this person is, I want him to be put into my orchestra. The special band and orchestra that would play for the king on special occasions, I want this person to be a musician and to play his guitar in my orchestra. Mamash Appella, okay, fine, but the king says you have to do. So they invite him to the palace, this musician, this beggar on the street, and so they bring him to the orchestra and they tell the I don't know what the word is, the guy in charge of the orchestra, the conductor, that this person, the king recommended, the king said that he should be part of the orchestra. Okay? So the conductor figures if the king hand selected him, it must be he's a chashuv player. So he asks him to play a tune. And so he plays it. The thing is off key, his guitar is half, the strings are falling apart. He can barely play. He's not such a great musician. He's decent, but nothing to write home about. Certainly not as chashuv as the other musicians that they have in the orchestra. Okay, but the king said. So while he's playing and he's doing his thing, so the next time that the orchestra is being assembled to play for the king, so all the musicians are told the time that they have to come to play, and so everyone comes with their musician, with their instrument. And so this poor person comes with his broken guitar that's again, off tune, and the strings are falling apart. And so the conductor says, "Listen, hey, it's one thing to be part of the orchestra, but we have new guitars that you should use. What's going on? You're bringing your old broken guitar." So the person said to the conductor, said, "Listen, I have no idea why in the world the king would select me to be part of his royal orchestra. It makes no sense. The whole thing is crazy. But I'll say one thing. If he picked me for whatever reason in his mind to pick me to be part of his orchestra, I come with my Mishagasin. I come with my Mishigasin. And one of my Mishigasin is that this is my guitar. It's broken, it's not tuned properly. It's a Mishigas, but it's my Mishigas. I come with my guitar. He picked me anyway, I shouldn't be here to begin with. He picked me anyway, I come with my Mishigasin. So the Chayzit said to this Yid, he said, listen, you're a Chashva Yid, you're a Talmid Chacham. Who am I, said the Chayzit? I'm a nobody. So why am I in the Mizrach Vand? Why am I the Rebbe of all these Chassidim? Crazy. The Rebbeinu Shalom's walking by the streets of his world, and he sees a beggar on the street named the Chayz of Lublin. And it doesn't make any sense. And all the Malachim and Shemaim are thinking, what, this guy? The king picked me. The king picked me as part of his orchestra. I'm now, put in a position of hashpah and so on. It doesn't make any sense. But if for whatever reason Rebbeinu Shalom picked me, I come with my Mishigas. And one of my Mishigasin is that I smoke. That's what the Chayz said. Now, what do you learn from such a Maisa? Not to smoke during Shemoneh Esrei, and not to use this story as an excuse to do crazy things, to do things that are shleik halacha. But to me, the lesson of the story is that very often we have our Mishigasin. Right? The Gemara says that a Yetzirah, that any Yetzirah, any aver that a person commits is because there's a ruch shtus, there's a Mishigas that takes over a person's head. So very often we make the following mistake: how could I do mitzvahs? How could I do good things if at the same time I'm mishigan in other areas? So how could it be the Rebbeinu Shalom would select me if I'm supposed to be selected by the king and I'm supposed to come and I'm supposed to serve the Rebbeinu Shalom? Then I can't. Then I have to be completely perfect. The answer is, why did the Rebbeinu Shalom pick you to be a yid? No idea. Maybe the Malachim and Shemaim are surprised by it. Maybe they're thinking, that guy, that girl. But you know what you say? You say to the Malachim, you know what? I don't know either. But once I come with my Mishigasin. So I'm going to daven. I am Meshigana and I speak Lashon Hara. I'm gonna give tzedakah. I am Meshigana. I don't learn as much as I should. So I'm Meshigana. But you know what? You come with your Mishigasin. Don't allow the Mishigasin in your life to stop you from gumming into the orchestra of the king. You do what you have to do. You're Meshigana in certain inyanim. Okay, it's an inyanim that I have to work on. But I'm not going to allow that to stop me from coming to play for the king. And that's the Ma'aseh the Chayz of Lublin. I think in a certain sense he's telling each and every one of us, telling that Rav, everyone has their Mishigasin, but don't allow your Mishigasin to stop you from serving in the orchestra of the king. Hashem should bless us. We should get over all of Mishigasin, all the ruch shtus that sometimes takes over a person's heart and mind. Ka'ash and techlet it should dissipate like smoke and vapor as it is. But until those Mishigasin are taken care of and are disrupted, and we are Mishigayim in certain areas of our life, the Rebbeinu Shalom should bless us that those ruach shtusin should not stop us from being a part of the King's orchestra and serving the Rebbeinu Shalom in ways that we know we can. Hashem should bless us with a healthy digavach, a mas digavach, a simcha digavach, and we should be zayich all together, collectively, individually, to greet Mashiach Tzidkeinu, b'viyas God Tzedek, meher v'yimeinu, amen.